Boom, we're back, and we have two people on the channel that have been here before. We have Josh on the right and Tavion on the left. If you don't remember, Josh is the brown belt slayer that ankle locked Jess. Let's see how he does against this blue belt cop, Tavion. It's a great start for Josh because he's already passed Tavion's invisible guard. Invisible guard is when they sit on their butt and they pretend like they want to play, but instead they just let you pass. Tavion is excellent at the invisible guard, and now he's even looking at the camera. Josh is looking to set up an arm attack on Tavion, but if we look at the size of Tavion's arms, I don't think that's going to be possible for Josh to do. Tavion quickly escaped the side control position by bridging, and now he's in turtle. Josh does not have much going on here, except for he does have a front head on Tavion. Front head is an excellent position to keep your opponent down, but only if you know how to use it. Instead, Josh kind of just gets turned to his back, and now he's on bottom. Tavion is wasting no time. He's rushing past his Josh's guard, and he's already put into side control. Once he has Josh in side control, he's now looking to flatten him out, and he transitions to mount immediately. Josh showed absolutely no defense to side control, so I hope that's not the main thing for this role, because Tavion is not the dude to do that too. He's now attempting some catch wrestling. I honestly couldn't tell you what this move is called, but he's looking to extend Josh's hips while keeping his chest down. It looks extremely painful, but luckily, Josh is not going to tap to something like that while the camera is on him. Instead, Josh is going to tap to a one fist in the throat. He didn't even attempt to fight it, and he only had a fist on one side of his neck, so he could definitely still breathe. He just tapped due to pain. Now Josh gets to start on top, so that's always a good start to be on top of Tavion versus underneath him. Tavion's about 260 pounds and Josh is about 170 pounds, so there's a massive size difference between the two. Tavion is looking to hand fight as he sits up, and then we get a surprise guest cameo.
Boom, perfect timing.
Yes, it's me. I'm the guest cameo. I didn't have anyone to roll with, even though there are clearly people on the mat available, but now Tavion is on top of Josh, already working in the half guard position. If you missed it, Tavion got to this position just by pushing Josh over. That may happen a few more times in this role. I'm not going to tell you yes or no, but it didn't look too good for Josh. Now that Tavion's in this position, he's showing us a quick smile and he's pressuring Josh's face with bonus head control. Getting your head control with bonus head is always your first priority to defend. Instead, we're going to get a close-up on Josh because he's clearly not enjoying this too much. He does have an underhook on Tavion, but it's not doing much as Tavion transitions into three-quarter mount. Once he's into three-quarter mount, Josh loses this underhook, and Tavion again shoves just one fist into Josh's neck and makes him tap. Tavion has done that fist attack 2 times in one roll, and I admit it, the fist in the throat does hurt. However, you don't need to tap to this technique. If they only have it on one side, you can still breathe. It is indeed painful, but I would toughen it out and try and address it before anything else happens. We can see here Tavion is already in the mount position, so it's not looking too good for Josh. He's starting to pin the arm, and once he pins the arm, he has a special move he's been working lately. It's known as the mounted triangle. Tavion already has Josh's arm in the correct position, and now he's working the knee over. Once he passes the knee over the arm, and then Josh's right arm is already in the correct position, it just becomes a matter of time. Tavion is now lifting Josh's head so he can get his leg in there freely. Once the leg is in there, he's leaning back. By leaning back, this is giving him extra space so he can lock up the figure 4 for the triangle, and then he can press forward to get the tap with the mounted triangle. Since we just saw another submission, it's time for the question of the day. My question of the day today is, what are your go-to guard passes? For example, I love the guillotine pass where I backstep and then I attack with the guillotine. Josh is clearly just walking around the guard, which seems to be working for him for Tavion, but I want to know what are your favorite guard passes. Let me know in the comments below. Now, Tavion is in butterfly as Josh looks for a Kimura. I would not have looked for that Kimura in that position, instead I would have addressed the feet. Instead, he gets swept. Once Tavion sweeps Josh, he keeps that same arm pinned. He's now going for a head and arm choke. Once he has the head and arm, he decides he's going to dismount, which is smart. By dismounting, this allows him to flatten out Josh more, and then he can correct the angle to make the choke tighter. He gets out to the side, and then he's really applying his pressure to Josh until he can get the tap. Looking back at this video, this match may have been a bit of a mismatch here. Josh was known as the brown belt slayer because of Jess, but Tavion is not going to be another trophy for Josh to hang on his wall. Instead, he's pushing into Josh right here, and he immediately is going for the foot. Josh has no defense as Tavion sits back, and he's going for this ankle lock. He has everything locked up, and Josh is again going to be forced to tap. If you were looking for some violence to start your day, this is definitely the video. Josh is not having too good of a time here. Tavion is just bringing it to him like the cop that he is. Now Josh is restarting this round and is looking to stand, and again he's just slightly passing Tavion's arm until he can try and get to the side control position. Tavion's playing invisible guard, and Josh walks right around and gets into side control. However, We quickly see here that Josh's offense is just as good as the prosecutor's offense in the Kyle Rittenhouse case. He gets shoved over immediately and accomplished absolutely nothing. Now, once Josh gets shoved over, Tavion's looking for this Kimura, and he's trying to pass the head. That's because he has a special submission just for Josh. Once he passes the head, he's switching to a prison rip, which is a massive compression lock, and Josh has to tap and feel the pain. So these two will probably not ever go on the channel against each other again. They'll be against other opponents because this is just a bloodbath. Tavion's doing whatever he wants. He's able to completely push Josh over even when Josh is in the side control position. Josh now is working again, and he's trying to pass the invisible guard. Tavion lets him into his side control after the invisible guard, and again we're going to see some amazing bottom work by simply shoving him over with 2 arms. Tavion's showing massive technique here as he shoves Josh into the side control position, and again is deciding he can do whatever that he wants. There may be a slight size difference here as Tavion is going into north-south, and he's shoving Josh's head into a questionable and smelly position. You may be wondering, what could Josh do here to prevent this? Really not that much. He probably shouldn't have even done this roll, but he could have done a much better job of keeping his arms inside, staying in a tight ball, not trying to be swept so much. Tavion's now switching to knee mount, and he's even using both knees to help him out until he can get the proper position. I think we're going to have to rename this mount the Tavion mount. Look at his face. He's having such a blast of a time. He loves it being on top of Josh and just smashing Josh. But this does bring us to the end of the video. If you appreciate the video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I recently just hit 4,000 subs, so thank you to all my current viewers. Also, thank you to my current patrons. If you'd like to be a member and to see awesome moves, then make sure to check out the link. Thanks for watching.